illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, she said, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone may destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may just never be enough. Give the world the best you have anyway. You see, she said, in the final analysis, it's all between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Isn't that beautiful? It's Mother Teresa, and you should applaud because she deserves that. Thank you. You begin to see that this is an 800-year-old technology. This prayer isn't the most famous prayer in the world, or one of them, because it just happens to be catchy. This prayer of St. Francis is revered by people of all persuasions all over the world because it represents a spiritual solution to any problem you could ever face. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. How can I bring pardon to the presence of injury? And what is pardon but forgiveness? And what is forgiveness but the ability to love someone in response to something that they may have done to you that you feel hurt by at some time in your life? There's a Chinese proverb that says, if you're going to pursue revenge, you'd better dig 2 graves. Because one of those graves will be for yourself. You know, I told you the story at the beginning of this program of my biology teacher and the leaf collection. Always be careful about how you treat anybody in your life. Even your little children. You may work for them someday. 15 years after I took biology for the second time that summer, because I wouldn't do a leaf collection, I received my doctorate degree from Wayne State University in Detroit. And I was given the opportunity to teach as a faculty member, as an adjunct faculty member there, Dr. Dyer. Very proud. With my own parking place. That was the best. And I was given my class assignment, and there was my roster, and I had 30 students in there, and this course was a course in child development, child psychology, and adolescent psychology. It was a course that all of the people who wanted to become administrators in the school system had to take in order to become certified as a school administrator. And there on my roster was my former biology teacher. It's a true story. Now my student, needing this course in order for him to get on with his goals in his life. He did a leaf collection like you wouldn't believe. No, it's not true. No revenge. I didn't even tell him, but I often thought about sending him down to Australia to get some eucalyptus leaves. It's just a requirement of the course. Everyone has to do it. But I didn't. Where there is doubt, faith. How can I bring faith to the presence of doubt? Rabindranath Tagore, the great Indian poet, once said that faith is the sound that the songbird makes before the dawn. Before the dawn. The songbird has got incredible faith. He knows the dawn is coming. And the ability of each and every one of us to just go within and find something inside of us. Someone said to me today that that's fine what you're talking about, but he said, I'm an atheist. And I said to him, I said, try not to think of it in terms of whether or not you belong to a perfect system, or whether God exists or doesn't exist the way you have been raised to believe. Try thinking of it as a presence. When you go to sleep tonight, look at your fingernails and know that in the morning they're going to be just a little bit longer than they were when you went to sleep. That there's a force in the universe that is everywhere. And this force doesn't grow your fingernails and stop yours from growing. This force doesn't allow your hair to grow. Well, that's not a good example. This force doesn't beat your heart and not mine. There's one force, one power in all of the universe, and it grows our fingernails, and it beats our heart, and it aligns the planets, and it opens every flower every morning, and it is this universal one song, universe, one song, that connects everything in the universe. It is a way of looking at the world from a spiritual perspective. Where there is despair, said Francesco, let me send hope. Michelangelo once responded, he said, the greater danger is not that our hopes are too high and we fail to reach them. It's that they are too low and we do. I do talk radio across the country all the time. And people will call in with a disease that has been diagnosed as terminal. And I will always tell that person that whatever energy that allowed any miracle to ever take place, that law is still on the books. It hasn't been repealed. Go to that place. Go to that place within you, that quiet place where you have an awareness that you can commune and reconnect to your source. And go there and be at peace. Find that inner joy, that inner island, that inner Tahiti that Melville described, that allows you to know that I am not going to have despair. I'm going to have hope. Where there is darkness, light. And I've spoken already about this whole metaphor of darkness and light. One of the most beautiful quotes from Ralph Waldo Emerson, Ralph, who sat right there. He said, there is no object so foul that intense light will not make it beautiful. And so often our thoughts are of darkness. So often at night, sometimes people they'll lie in their bed and they won't have any light in the room, and their mind will go into all of the fears and all of their worries and all of the stress. And I tell people, turn the light on. Bring light. Literally bring light to that presence. Because in the daytime, when the sun is out, when you're out in the light, things just don't seem the same as they do in the darkness, do they? And it's that light, the bringing light to the presence of darkness. Light is a higher and a faster energy. Bring that energy to the presence of that lower and slower energy called darkness. And it is nullified. It can't survive, nor can hate, nor can anger. Perfect love, it says in the scriptures, perfect love casteth out all fear. Fear cannot exist in the presence of love. And sadness cannot exist in the presence of joy. Where there is sadness, Francesco said, let me bring joy. Let me find a way inside of me to bring joy into my life. Many people in my life have brought me great joy. Some of them are here today. One of them is a lady who has worked for me for over 20 years. She doesn't understand the concept of not having accidents yet, and I've talked over and over again about when you reach the level of consciousness I'm speaking about, you will access things called intuition and insight. and then you will not be slipping back into these worlds of problems. Her name is Maya Lebo. She sits right here. Thanks for being here, Maya. God bless you. So many wonderful and powerful people in my life. All of them have done this thing for me. They have brought joy to the presence at times in my life of perhaps worry, perhaps fear, perhaps a little grief, sadness. And when I see them, I know that I'm living this prayer. You know, when I was raising my children, and I'm still doing that, one of my little girls, her name is Sky, and when she was just a baby, she would love to sit on my stomach when we were in the swimming pool or in the ocean. And she would just sit up there, and she would love to sing. And when she would sit up on there, we would sing this song. And I would put my arms in the water, and she would be sitting up there. She's a year and a half old, and she would laugh. She was always full of laughter and beauty. And we'd sing this song. And as we'd sing the song, I remember going back into my home and writing the words down, because they seemed to me that some of the simplest things that we say to ourselves continuously often get repeated because there's such great wisdom in them. Like that quote I used earlier of Shakespeare's, to be or not to be. That is the question. It is the fundamental question that Emerson and Thoreau and Alcott and Hawthorne and Julia Ward Howe and all of these people who came here, Louisa May Alcott, so all of these people were asking these questions and asking people to look at their own lives and to find within them their own divinity and not be doubting that and finding fault with it. And as we would sing this song, I thought it had so much meaning, it had so much sense. And the song goes like this. Most of you know it. We would sing, row, row, row. And as we would sing, row, 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 I would think that just means to me, just go out there into your life and be and work and do. Because when you're born, Khalil Gibran, the Lebanese poet, said, when you are born, your work is placed in your heart. There's something that you came here to do. There's no mistakes in this universe. The only mistakes are the mistakes that we have, that we are separate from the perfection into which we were created. Row, row, row your boat. Don't row my boat. Don't row somebody else's boat. Don't try to row a boat that somebody else tells you you should be rowing. Row, live, work your own boat. And how do you row this boat? Always gently, always gently, always with love, always with peace, always with kindness. Row your boat that way. Row your boat gently down the stream. Don't row up the stream. It takes away all of your energy, and it'll just create a counterforce of frustration for you. Get in the stream of life and row your boat gently down the stream with the currents of life, with the great Creator, merrily, always with joy, always with cheerfulness, merrily, 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 merrily. And you know, Thoreau put it this way. He said, our truest life is when we are in our dreams awake, because life is but a dream. Let's sing it together just for a minute. Together. Ready? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. That's all it is. It's just a dream. God bless you, and thank you for coming today.
Coming up next, a special bonus segment. Dr. Dyer demonstrates the energy of our thoughts, plus a special musical performance.
Everything in the universe has an energy. This isn't just scientific talk. We're now beginning to discover through some of the work that is being done by kinesthesiologists and so on that every thought has an energy. And that thoughts go from very, very low and slow energy to very high and very fast energy. And these can be measured.